Not all horror is hidden behind closed doors. Some of it lives in cities. Some of it drags itself through the streets, tearing silence open and leaving a trail no one can ignore. This is not an urban legend. This happened in the city of Delhi on the first morning of the new year. Welcome to the quiet room. Shut the door, kill the light. This is Dragged Through Silence. It was 2:13 a.m. New Year's Eve had become New Year's Day. In most homes, there were parties. In others, sleeping children and streaming screens. The streets were emptier than usual, save for fireworks smoke and drunk laughter echoing in patches. On a narrow road near Sultanpuri in West Delhi, a 20-year-old girl was heading home after work. She wasn't partying. She had spent the night working an event, riding her scooter alone into the new year. At the same time, 5 men, heavily intoxicated, got into a car. They had just left a liquor party. Their paths crossed in the dark. And her scooter was struck. But it wasn't a hit and run. Not really. Because they didn't run. They dragged her. When the car hit her, she didn't fall to the side. Her leg got trapped in the front axle. She went under the car, and the car kept moving. She was dragged for between 7 and 12 kilometers, depending on whose report you believe. Her clothes were torn away. Her body scraped against the asphalt over speed breakers and side roads. Shreds of skin and hair were later found along the route. One man, a confectioner, followed them on his bike. He called the police more than 20 times. No one responded fast enough. The road was dark, the city was quiet, and underneath the music and fog and neon signs, a woman was being scraped alive. At 4:15 a.m., more than 2 hours after she was hit, her body was found, unclothed, skinned, broken, unrecognizable. Ribs shattered, skull fractured, 40 wounds, and one hand missing, torn away somewhere along that long, brutal road. The police initially said it was a hit and run, but CCTV footage showed otherwise. A trail of sparks, the car swerving, no attempt to stop. Police initially suggested she may have been intoxicated herself. Later, they backtracked. There was no alcohol in her blood. She had been working. She was sober. She was alive when the dragging began. What was left of her was barely recognizable. She had been conscious for at least part of the journey. You don't die instantly from a leg fracture, but you can die slowly when no one stops the car. 5 men were arrested, aged 26 to 30, all drunk. They claimed they didn't know she was under the car. Even as people on scooters chased them, shouting, even as the car dragged for kilometers, metal grinding. They confessed to being at a liquor party and took turns driving the vehicle. Police charged them with culpable homicide, causing death by negligence, destruction of evidence. But murder? No. Delhi police said there was no intent. No intent because the law wanted to believe that they simply didn't know. 10 kilometers, dozens of turns, sparks flying, and they didn't know. Even when you drag a girl down the road for miles, even when she screams under your wheels, when the news broke, the country shook. Protests erupted in Sultanpuri and Jantar Mantar. People lit candles, held photos, and cried out in rage. The CCTV clips went viral, and for a week, the city couldn't sleep. But then, things moved on. The cars drove again, and the girl was reduced to another file. You've driven that road before, or somewhere like it. Maybe you passed the place where she died without knowing it. The blood's been washed. The wheels have turned, but the silence still screams. What do we do with a story like this, where the monster isn't a ghost, but a city full of people who didn't stop? What do we do with a body that was dragged past temples, schools, and markets, and still no one helped? Because in Delhi, ghosts aren't just things in white saris. Sometimes they're girls who never made it home. Sometimes they drag themselves behind the cars we keep driving. You've been listening to The Quiet Room. This was Dragged Through Silence. For every voice that wasn't loud enough, shut the door, kill the light, and never forget what the silence tried to bury.